Now we also need to graph circles in the course here, and we have to look at it, the circle in a couple of ways. The first one is in its simplest form, and that's looking when the equation is x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Now, x squared and y squared are going to be our coordinates of that'll be on the xy plane, so they will change. They're variables. R is not a variable. R will be always given to us, and R is the radius of the circle. So that's where the r squared comes from. So for this type of circle, that always will be in the form with the center being at the origin. So if it's at the origin, we get x squared plus y squared is equal to some number, and what we have to do is try and take the square root of that number. So in this case, sketch the circle of x squared plus y squared is equal to 9. We'll take the square root of 9, which gives us the radius, which is 3. So we're able to draw up our circle, center at the circle, radius of 3, which means it goes through the values on the x and y axis at either 3 or minus 3. So that's how we graph up a circle like that. The other way that we look at a circle is when it's not at the center's not at the origin. So if that's the case, it's going to be in this form. So x minus h plus y minus k is equal to the radius squared. So the radius again will just be a number. H and k is a coordinate on the number plane. So x minus h, x minus k. So if we've got the values of h and k there, they will be the coordinates of the center of the circle this time. So hk is critical to look at. So if we look at something like this, x minus 2 and y minus 1, the center would be 2, 1. So notice it's minus h and minus k there. So whatever the values of h and k are, then that will be the coordinates of the circle. That will be the coordinates of the center of the circle. So if that was, say, x plus 2, h would then be a minus, because the minus 2 makes it x plus. So it has to be x minus h and y minus k. We'll see some examples of that. Because it was 4, we got a radius of 2, and that's what our equation looks like. That's what our circle looks like then. So we're going to 2, 1, and a radius of 2. So that's why it's going through 1 there, because that's a distance of 2. If you want to plot the point down here, that would be going down 2 units there. So it's across 2 and be down 2 from there. So that going through minus 1. And across here, the point here would be, we're going straight across and going 2 units that way, would be across and be 4, 1. So that would be the point there. So we could plot some points really easily on this circle, and it's across 2 and it's up 2 units that way. So it's going to be the point 2, 3. So we can plot some points pretty easily on the circle. Some not so easily, where it cuts the x and y axes are not so easy with this one. So bear that in mind. So let's have a look at some examples. X squared plus y squared is 16. Well, our center is at the origin, so it's nice in that respect. Radius is 4, so you can see where it's going through 4 and minus 4 on the x and y axes. X squared plus y squared means this radius is at the center of the, so it's at the origin for the center, and square root of 49 gives us 7. So we're at 7 units away every time there. This time x plus 3, y minus 5. Well, as we said, because it's x minus 3, that would mean for h and k there, h is actually going to be a negative number, so it's going to be minus 3, and y minus 5 means k is going to be a positive number. So keep that in mind when you see that. It's in that form, x minus h all squared plus y minus k all squared. A radius is going to be the square root of 1, which is 1. So that's why we can graph minus 3 and 5 as our center of our circle, and a radius of 1, so you can see where it matches up in there. And we should really be getting that right. We should be able to get those values at least at that sort of cross area and where those points are. That should work out that should be able to be found really nicely. The other one's not so much. Try and get it easier, draw it nicely as possible. If you want to use a compass or a mathmat or something like that, that would be great, and get a nice neat circle. So x plus 4, y plus 6 means our center is going to be at minus 4 from that one, and minus 6. So it's where we're across minus 4 down to minus 6. Our radius is 30. Our r squared is 36. So r is 6. So that's why it goes back and touches the axis there. Goes across 6 units from that one, goes down 6 units, and goes across 6 units. and this one. Now, when you've got both of them there, again, x minus, this could be written as x minus 0 is equal all squared. So again, our center of our circle there, because it's x minus 0, it's just so we don't write the x minus 0 there, but we take it as 0 there, and our y quantity minus 3. So there's our center of our circle, 0 minus 3. Our radius being 9. So, and then we're able to draw it up. So go up 9 units from minus 3, down 9 units from minus 3, across there, and across there. You're able to get our correct values there. So x minus 1, y, and just y there. So again, our center is going to be positive 1, 0. So 1, 0 is our center. 3 is our radius. So you can see why it's going through 4, minus 2. And you can find the values there. It goes up to 1, 3, and down to 1 minus 3 there. There's 3 units away. So you can see how we start to be able to get certain points on our circle and be able to draw it up a little bit neater that way. This one, the center is going to be at minus 1, minus 2. So you can see the minus 1, minus 2 as our center, radius of 3. And this one, center at 1, minus 5. So we go across 1, down minus 5. So our scale's not great, but again, radius being 7, so we're able to play around and get our circle looking rather circular, which is what we're aiming, but we're getting certain points correct. So we're looking for that sort of aspect, that we know that what the radius is, and we can get certain aspects correct there. So that's how we get to draw a circle. And we need to remember those two forms. X squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, and x minus h all squared plus y minus k all squared is equal to the radius squared. So you're looking for the center of the circle, you're looking for the radius to draw up that circle as neat as possible.